Good morning, everyone. We are headed back down these crazy switchbacks. It is time to leave this place. We are headed to Cruye. Now, we went to Cruye, Snow and I, before, but the road that we had planned to take today is not accessible by our van. We were told by the locals, no way. So we've had to make a little bit altercation in plans and go the other route, which brings us through Cruye. I probably won't bring you too much through Cruye because you've either already seen that or you missed that video. You can go watch it there. But we're gonna, after we go to Cruye, it's gonna be a short stop. We've got another destination up in the mountains, up in the nature, another hike. And I know Snow's having a lot of fun back home, so she's gonna bring you along with her too.
The road turns at this bulldozer right here, and goes in there, and that's where the house paths stop. Up here where the trucks get loaded at, that's commercial property. So that
stops there.
It stops there. That dirt can stay there to be sold at its leisure, however long it takes. We just got to be able to make it out to where your car's parked out there.
Or I'm walking. If you followed our journey for a while, you know that me and Curt were both road builders in our past lives. But what you might not know is that my dad and my grandpa and my older brother were road builders. I come from a road building family. My grandpa and dad had a pretty large sized road construction company that me and my brother both worked for before they sold everything. And my nephew Max is now in what I'm going to call the family business, building roads. He never really wanted to do it, but when he got out there and got a job making a little money one time, he just kind of fell in love with it, which is the same thing that happened to me. So I made a detour on my way north to go by one of his job sites, and guys, he was driving me through and pointing out what was going on and telling me where they've had problems and where things are going good and what they're doing. And I don't know if you can see the smile on my face right now, but I was just beaming with pride, proud as I could be. Managed to not tear up in front of him, but as I drove away, I can tell you there were some happy, emotional tears with seeing how good he's doing and that he's in the family business, guys. So I am proud of my nephew Max. Now, Max is the one that's got the brand new baby that's part of this special trip coming home to see. So we'll get to meet him tonight. My next stop is going to see my brother at the Lime Rock mine. So a little bit more construction stuff. There's my brother. That's Bubba. His real name's Luke. And now he's going to buy me not breakfast, it's lunchtime. But I'm driving. So on the YouTube. They don't understand YouTube, and that's all right. But we're gonna go get some lunch. This is Peanut. He's the company mascot, and he may be the coolest little puppy I've ever met. Hey Peanut, what you doing? What you doing? Yeah.
So there has been a big change of plans. I caught a cold and haven't been feeling good for a couple days. And well, it didn't make sense to go up into the mountains and to have Mike sitting there with nothing to do. So he thought it better, since he's kind of staying in hotels anyway, to find a city with some activities where I'm kind of on the mend. He can get out and do a little adventuring. And we landed here in Durrës. And so we haven't done a lot of research on Durrës. It was kind of a plan C. And here we are, but it looks like there's a lot going on in this city. We have a nice parking place right off the water. Mike found a hotel easily, but now that we've been here for a day, he's gonna go ahead and move into another space. But anyway, we're gonna walk around and have a little look. We can already see right here as we kind of get into Old Town, There's a castle structure right here, and I think there's also an amphitheater, and well, there's a lot of stuff here, so we're just going to check it out. Oh, the Envy. Whoa, I'm a little envious. This is more your style. All right, so we just had a look at the hotel that Mike's moving into, and I am envious. That thing is posh. Got nice marble floors, wooden mahogany furniture, nice rooftop bar, restaurant up high, good views. Looks like it's going to be a nice place for him, so I'm glad for that. And yeah, we're just having to walk around the town. And I should tell you that I will try to get you some pictures or some videos of the room later on. We haven't seen it, he hasn't checked in yet, but the cost of the rooms here, the room that he's currently staying in over on the water, I didn't get any shots of that, and he's already checked out, $65 a night, $65 a night. So pretty economical for the quality of the room. But as we come over through here, we're in kind of inside the walled city, the castle walls, and most of it's been demoed. But this little area right here, you can kind of see some original ruins. And then right there is an old Roman Colosseum. Amphitheater, I'm sorry, not a Colosseum, an amphitheater. And it's a bit in disrepair, but you could expect that, considering I'm sure it's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years old. They march down now. This is probably where the gladiators marched down, right there. So this is thousands of years old, guys. This is more than hundreds and hundreds. This is thousands of years old. We decided to pay to get in. It's $3 a piece to get in, 300 lek or €3, however you look at it, $3 roughly. And this Colosseum was built, or this amphitheater, I keep calling it a Colosseum, but they did have gladiators here. They did have the wars here. This thing held 20,000, up to 20,000 spectators. But it was built in the year, between the year 100 and 200 AD. So it's a couple thousand years old. And as you come down here, I'm sure some of this has been modified with the stairs. But you can see some of these tunnels for the entrances, and the underworkings of it are probably original. Wow. Can you imagine walking down through here, about to begin the fight of your life for your life? Wow. So I guess this would be like where all the little rooms were. Like cells maybe, because I think, so this is, but it must be part of the original configuration, no? So if you can see here where all the stands would have been, it's all eroded and worn, but this is where people would have sat up here. And down below is a series of tunnels and cells or rooms and other things like that. So not so different than any stadium that we would have modernly, where under the stands there's space. But look at this. So look at some of the ornate detail under the stands. This is clearly some kind of viewing window, and I assume this is down close to the level of the floor of the amphitheater. But you can see here, these are probably original steps. Look at this thing. Just look at this amphitheater, guys. It held 15 to 20,000 people. The seats are gone. You can see them down here on the lower level. They have some that are still kind of intact, but most of them have kind of eroded over time, over the thousands of years that it's been here. Wow. Yeah, I reckon that's No way you'd have light in something like this back then. I think that's a road to nowhere, isn't it? Kind of big cave entrance. Now we're going back. We're out under the stands of the amphitheater right now. And again, I don't know if this is where they would have held all the combatants or what, storage, but it is a big space. And you can see back here it's full of dirt and some of it's eroded down. So there's no way we know if there's another room beyond there that's been filled since then or what. But what a fascinating place. I mean, it really is, the design of it is surprising how much of this we still kind of duplicate today in a stadium.
Yeah, this is all silted in. You can see that this is probably soil and stuff that's silted in. And then
yeah, and it looks like they've kind of been slowly excavating back in there.
There's room back in there.
That's somebody's house now.
Is it?
I think that's that house right next door. They got, well, there's water tanks and stuff in there. I don't know.
There's a skylight.
Yeah, I think torches was the only lighting they had back then, right?
Don't know what else it would be.
Yeah, these are definitely more skylights.
Yeah.
And that we were in that tunnel, so we were looking into their basement. So we didn't take a tour of this place. We haven't researched this place. There's a couple signs at the entrance that's given us the information that we shared with you guys. But that didn't mean that Mike and I didn't do a ton of speculation on what these various structures are, where they led to, what they meant, all the battles that happened and other events that happened down there on the ground, which it looks like it's all been filled in through time. A little skylight up here. We were underneath all that, but wow. Definitely my first Roman amphitheater, so. Woo! Let him die.
The story we discovered is this. One day, one person planted a tree in her garden. And look, something on the shape of the wall. And look what's happened here. And call archeolog when Toci, this is archeolog of Durres, and say, please come and look what's happened here. And this say, okay, this is the amphitheater of the Durres. And disturbed all of this house that are here and discovered this.
So there were houses on top of this.
House here.
Wow.
And they've since excavated the dirt back away from here.
Perfect. Yes. All of this, if you look, all of those stairs and here, all over here, in all of this here. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wow. So as we were walking out, Yona enlightened us a little bit. And I think Mike and I were thinking in the right direction that the amphitheater was much bigger than what we're seeing. And it said it was discovered in the 60s. This was all backfilled, guys. There was houses built over top of this. And so they've been able to excavate some of this and reveal what's here. But in a lot of these houses and businesses around this area, down below, they have what she called galleries. So some of those rooms that we saw underneath the stands were galleries. And some of these grand entrances now that go to nowhere, mud walls, opened up into the streets. So this thing was huge, full circle. But man, what an impressive structure. And what an exercise of the imagination. And we've taken a turn to what looks like the city center area. And you can see there's a big open plaza. In Tirana, if you remember, there was a big open plaza in the city center. So I'm noticing a trend. Some nice fountains. And they did just have a spring festival. I think we're still a little bit from spring. It's right on our heels. All right, guys, this is the little camp spot that I found here in Durres. Mike actually spent the first night right there in that little apartment. He's since moved on. But this right here is the Adriatic Sea. And they have a really, really nice Malecon. And out there you can see there's a pier. It's a little bit kind of cloudy today. But this is a port where you take the ferry over to Italy. And I believe it's an overnight deal where you get a room, you park your van, and you wake up and you're in Italy. We had some friends do that. And we'll probably do that one time here as well. But anyway, I just got a message from Mike. We're gonna head over and we're gonna do some lunch. We're down to Malecon. We made it down here. And now we're gonna head over here and see if we can find a bite to eat. Looks like there are gonna be plenty of options. We'll see. I don't know. I never been here. In the spirit of transparency, I'm gonna be completely honest with you, Mike. If you had any other impression, I've never been here. Well, we made it this far. We might as well go see what the options are out here, huh? Oh, look, there's a little thing out there. This gets a little bit of a fancy place factor. Well, it is. Look at what they're building over there. I think they're... Oh, that dog. They're not building anything. That's a big old dog right there. Oh, wow. Look how shallow the water is. All right, we made it out to the pier, and it turns out it's a restaurant, and that's where we're at. We're in a restaurant, and it's kind of a fancy restaurant. All right, we decided to get lunch out here at this fancy restaurant. It's not what we were looking for, but we're definitely glad to have it. It's a little seafood pasta for me, so there's some shrimp. I don't know, a bunch of different seafood. I had an orange juice and a water. Mike had a beer and some kind of raviolis there.
With the mushroom sauce on it.
Mushroom sauce raviolis. So we're going to dig in, guys, but it looks tasty. And the view's not too bad either. And the van's right back there behind us. Hey, G and Vanna. So I don't think you guys are going to be able to see this on camera. But we're sitting here at lunch and we look outside and see something big popping up out of the water. Really wasn't sure what it was. And I actually kind of thought it was like maybe a diver's fin or something. There's a boat over the right. But we're just watching and all of a sudden a bunch of it. And we think, we don't know, it's a huge school of porpoise that are just laying around floundering over there. I don't think the water's deep enough for whales. But anyway, we're just sitting here watching them and there's probably at least 20 of them over there flopping around. All right, so the lunch was tasty. It was a nice small little lunch. Did you enjoy yours, Mike?
I did. That was perfect.
And it turns out those dolphins we saw out there were actually snorkelers. There were fins, and they were out there catching mussels. So anyway. All right, you guys know I love a fishing culture. And I've been watching these guys from the van out in the water. But they've been taking nets out there and checking nets and fishing. And I thought they were pedal boats, and it turns out they are. So look, there's a bunch of pedal boats, and they take their nets out there, and I think they mostly leave them in the water and they just go out there and check them. This is the first time I've seen them using these boats for commercial fishing, but they're doing it. And right along this Malecon here, it runs all along here with what looks to be a boardwalk and some restaurants, and possibly up here some kind of other lookout. We're gonna go up and check this out. Some construction going on. You see that one of Venice? I walked over that bridge right there. So pretty cool feature out here. A little peninsula they have sticking up. I'm gonna call it the step monument. But some nice views. We could definitely see them over there snorkeling for the mussels, and there was 3 snorkelers, and we were trying to figure out how we got it wrong, and we figured it out. But what a nice little Malecon. A lot of nice restaurants, really nice little place. So, and the weather, we've had such great weather. What a good day. So as in Tirana, we are seeing a bit of construction here in Durrës, and especially along this Malecon. There's 2, maybe 3 high-rises that I see going up along this port, and you can see this little Malecon area, this walkway here is really active, and they've done a nice job. There's playgrounds for kids and different kinds, and a little soccer field where the kids can play ball. And there's a lot of people walking their dogs up and down, and kids riding their scooters. Need to get ours out and go tooling around up here. But in any event, a really nice family-oriented Malecon, a beautiful place. And down beyond the van, where the port is, there's a little, I don't know, a rock pier that I think we can walk out, and I haven't been to that area. But other than that, we've explored a good bit of this little coastline right through here. And I'll tell you what, this is a nice little place to visit. Well, definitely not a bad place to spend a few days here in Durrës. This, as I've said several times, Malecon, they've done a really nice job along here. Down here toward the end, there is a little rubbish, unfortunately. It looks like the tide comes up here and brings bottles and other things up. And they're out here doing a little picking up of their nets with the little paddle boats, a little commercial fishing. And I miss filming it, but they just did catch a little fish. But you can see that's a gill net. It's got some fairly big mesh, and it's top to bottom. But these little nets are all along here. You can see out there's a couple more fishermen out there pulling nets. But they were pulling them all day yesterday as well. So let's see if they catch anything here. There's a fish right there. Now you'll see he'll pull that thing through the net. He can't back it out because of the gills. So he'll get it up and he'll just pull that thing right through the net like that. Push it through. So he's caught 2 little fish. Anyway, another day on the Malecon. Alright, today is our last day in Durrës, and we decided to take a little walk out here to this pier. You can see the vans back there. This has kind of been our view down this way, and I've seen a lot of fishermen with their fishing poles come out to fish along here, and you can see them right here sitting down on the rocks. But in any event, we're gonna walk out here, and if you can see off kind of in front of us or to the left here is the port. And it's kind of a small port, but there's some big boats, some big ferries back in there, and also some cranes for some containers. So it looks like maybe small container ships, not the huge ones. But it's a nice sized port. There's a big concrete wall around here that kind of protects these. So let's walk up here, and maybe there's some nice boats up here. Oh, there's some big fishing boats up here. It looks like they maybe got some big shrimp trawls and things like that. But it's another beautiful day, and our last day in Durrës, and my cold has moved on to a cough. So from sore throat and sinuses to no energy to a cough. But I'm fighting through it, and well, we have new plans for our next destination, so that's pretty exciting. All right, we walked along that wall, and Mike was telling me he's got the heebie-jeebies from the heights. Now I get heebie-jeebies too, but he didn't like to get near that wall. But I'll tell you what, sandals and all, he just climbed right down these boulders like they were nothing. And but we saw all these people fishing along these rocks down here. We had to come down and get a closer look, didn't we, Mike? I don't think he got it. Oh, he did get something? No, it's a sinker. Yeah. My dad used to always say it takes 2 jerks to catch a fish.
And as a 12-year-old, it's like, oh, that Uncle Dewey, he's so funny.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Some folks argue politics till it drives them mad. Some folks let their problems shine, wear them like a badge. But not me, my friend. No, not me, my friend. No, no, not me. Not me. We all got to die, and when it's my time, I'm gonna die living. Die living. So put me on a jet airplane and take me to a foreign place and fall in love with a stranger's face. I will. Show me something I ain't seen. Take me someplace I ain't been. I got my music and my old 6-string, and I will die living.
If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you guys know when we put out new videos. And don't forget, you can always follow us over on Instagram to see what's going on in between videos. Cheers, guys!